Hi there, welcome to the second part of the MERN Stack project management application. This is CodeWave. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to subscribe, and if also a returning subscriber, kindly like. Okay, so we are going to continue from where we left. So we're done with the dashboard, and we're also done with the workspaces. So we are going to go through the tags, right? So this page, right? So we have the list and we have the board, right? And we should be able to search, sort, and filter, right? Because this is what we're going to do. Okay, so I just also want to say this, that if you like such content, right, let me know in the comment section. And I also have a Nest.js version of this same project. So if you're interested in that, you can watch that. And also we created a healthcare management system in Nest.js. If you want to see a MERN Stack version of it, kindly comment in the box, or whatever project you want to see, just comment in there and add a tech stack, right? And at the end of the day, we'll check and come up with such projects. Okay, so yeah, let's continue from here. We'll go to the tags, and you can see that we don't have the tags here. Okay, so we'll come here and let's first create that page. So I'll come to the routes, and inside the route dashboard. Okay, and dashboard here, I'm going to put it here inside the dashboard as my tags.tss, right? Okay, let's see if RFC will work. Okay, that's fine. It has. Okay, so make sure you have the ES7 plus extension installed, right? Then you can have such snippet. Okay, and I will entreat you, if you haven't watched the first part, please do so to watch it so you can understand. Okay, so come to the routes.ts file here, and we are still inside the dashboard. We'll put it here as my tags, and we have it like this here. Okay, so if we go back, I think we should see something on the screen. Okay, so now we have my tags. Great. Okay, so we will start from the backend, right? So I want to start from the backend. So go backend here, routes, then there is tags. Okay, so let's go down where we have all the get, right? Okay, so I'm going to put it here. So this and dot get. Okay. Okay, there's a suggestion here. We'll not need any validation. We'll only need this. Okay. And okay, my tags. So I'll go inside the controllers and tags. Okay. And this one should be pretty simple, right? Okay. So here I'm going to say cons my tags, right? Okay, like this. And let's make sure we export it here. Great. Okay, this should be fairly simple. So here I'm going to say cons. Okay, so cons my tags await tags.find, where assignee. Okay, so assignee. Okay, so the assignees are a list. So I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say $in. Okay, so yes, so we're going to find all the tags where the assignees includes my ID, right? Okay, so all the assignees includes my ID, and we can even do sorting. So I'm going to say dot sort. Okay, so I'm going to sort. Okay, a lot of stuff. Okay, so we're populating the project and the name. Okay, I think it's called title, and let's also do workspace, right? Okay, so populate the project, then we get the workspace, and we doing the sorting right by the index. Okay, great. I think that's fine. Something seems to be missing. Okay, so yeah. Okay, right. So I mean that's pretty simple. Then we'll return the tags here. Okay, and now we can go here and import, get my tags imported. Very fine. And now we can come here and inside the front end, let's use the use tags hook, right? Okay, and use the tags hook, and we can come down here and just say export cons use get my tags. Okay, query. Okay. Let's see. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so what's going on here is that now we say, okay, this is a name. We are using the use query, and the query key is my tags, and I can even add user, right? Yeah, I'm going to add user to the key. Okay, and here the query function will be fetch data, which go to tags, then my tags. I think that's fine. Okay, so I can now come here and I'll begin from here. Okay, so in here, we'll get a couple of stuff. So if you check the finished product here, you can see that the filtering stuff are stored inside the URL, right? Okay, so we need to do that. Okay, so here what I'm going to say is that I'm going to say const search params, right? And set search params. Okay, it should be equal to use search params. Make sure you import that from React router. Okay, great. And now we can also say const initial, yes, so initial filters. Okay, initial filter will be the search param, right? Dot get, then we are going to get the filter, right? Or we set it to all in the beginning. Okay, which is fine, right? So we are going to get the filters from the URL. If we don't have it, then we set it to all. Okay. We can also do const initial sort, right? Okay, so yeah, so initial sort is also going to be the sort, else we send it to descending, right? Okay, great. And also another one, initial what should I say, initial search, right? You can also search, and the initial search will either be the search or empty. Okay, great. So now what I'm going to say is I'm going to say const, then now let's create state variables. Okay, for the three. Okay, so I'll import use state from React, right? Then I'll pass in the initial values to them. Okay, so here we can even give types. So this will be a string, right? The filter will be a string. Okay, so here sorting. Okay, sort. Maybe I should add the name sort direction, right, to make it sound a little bit complete. So sort direction, yeah. Okay, and here it will be I'm going to provide types also here. It will be AC ascending or descending, right? Okay, so it's either ascending or descending. And yeah, so here what I'm going to do is that I'm going to say that maybe I can just say this equal to this, then we'll say this else that. Yeah. Okay, that's simple. And the third one here, which is also a string. So yeah, we can also set that as a string. So we can set this also as a string. Yeah. And now let's import this hook. Okay, great. Now, so we'll be doing, a lot of sorting and stuff. So here, maybe I can name this as my tags. Okay. Then I have the it's loading. Okay. So I'm going to provide types. So I'm going to say as data will be tags, right, which is an array, and it's loading, okay, will be boolean. Okay, great. So yeah, we have this. Now what again it's left is we'll have to filter it, right? But before then, okay, let's do it here. So I'm going to say filtered tags should be equal to my tags, right? So my tags dot length. Let's check the length first. So if the length is greater than 0, then we can filter it. If it is not, then we don't have to filter anything, right? Okay, so if it is greater than 0, then we're going to do the filter, else we'll just send an empty array, right? Okay, so here, now let's do the filtering here. So here, what I'm going to say my tags, right, dot filter. Okay, so filter and get the tags, that is each tags, right? And now let us do this. Okay, so we're going to have if statement. So I'm going to say if the filter, right, the filter value that we have up there is equal to or, right, then we'll return true, right? Because if it's equal to or, we want to return true. So I mean, we need to return all the items, right? Okay, if it's all, we need to return all the items. Let's see if Keza will be able to suggest the rest. If filter also equals to do, right, because we will also be doing the sorting, right? I mean, we'll be filtering by also the status, right? So if it's also equal to do, what do we need to do? We need to return tags dot status equal to do. Okay, and this is the rest. Okay, so I think it's this instead. Yes. Okay, so here I'll make it this way. I'll put it together like this, and this, there's nothing like completed, it's done, and I'll send done. Okay, great. So if it is all, we'll return all. If it is to do, we'll return only where the status is to do, and that of in progress and the others. Okay, and we can also do that for when we say we have archived. So we can say set for filter equal to archived. Can you guess? Okay, so when it is archived, then we'll return where it's archived. Oh my goodness. Okay, it's archived is true, right? Okay. Yeah, then we'll return where it's archived is true. And we can also have another one that says if filter equal to high, right? Then we'll return where return where tax dot priority, right, equal to high. Okay, great. So yeah. Okay, so here I'll just say return true. Okay. Okay, so after all this, so yeah, so now these are all the filterings that we'll be doing. So here, come here and see now dot. Yes, okay, so here say dot filter, and now let's perform the actual thing. So we're going to say also tax. We'll get tax, and now let's return tax dot title, right? Dot to lowercase. So yes, before we no lowercase. Great. So we want to also check if the user want to search by if there's a search string, right? Meaning we search against the title. So title dot lowercase dot includes, right? So let's check if what the user is searching includes, it's included in the title. Okay, so it includes, then I'll pass in the search query. Was it search or what? Yes, search dot to lowercase. Okay. Okay, great. So now we also performing a search against filtering it against the title. We can also do tax dot description. If let's put a question mark because description can be empty. So dot to lower case, right? Okay. To lowercase, great. And also includes, okay, so search dot to lower also case. Okay, so yeah, okay, so that is it. And let's also talk about, okay, so this will perform filtering, right? Okay, so that's what, hence we have the name filter. Okay, let's also talk about the sorting. Okay, how are we also going to do that? So I'm going to say sort tax. Okay, so we have two ways to sort it, in ascending and in descending order. So I'm going to say const sorted tax will be equal to, equal to, then I am going to spread the filtered tax, right? And now sort it. Okay, so dot sort. Okay, so Keza. Okay, so sort where I get A and B. Okay, so A and B, and I want to return. Okay. Okay, wait. Remove this. Okay, so I get A and B. So here, I'll check the sorting direction. If the sorting direction is equal to ascending, right? I think let's do it this way. So I'm going to say if a dot due date, right? So we're going to sort by due date. So if a dot due date and b dot due date, great. Okay. Okay. So now I can say return. So return sort direction equal to this. Else, we're going to say new date. Okay. This one. Okay. Okay. So here what we're doing is that we're going to first check the due date, right? Because we're sorting against the due date. So we'll check if this due date and also this due date, then we want to return. What we are returning is we want to return the sorted list. So we are going to first check that the sorting direction, if it's ascending, right, then we passing in the due date into a new date here, .get type, and also doing the same to the B, right? If it's ascending, then A minus B. We just want to swap them. Else, if it is the opposite, then it is B due date, then A due date. Okay, then we'll return 0 here. Okay, make sure you put this one here, else it will not come. Okay, that's fine for now. So I think we can. Okay, so I think we can do it. So now I'm going to say if it's loading, right? I'm going to return loader. Okay, let's import our loader from component here. Great. And now let me provide some classes to this. So I'm going to say space y of 6, right? Okay. And now inside here, I'll put another div with class name of flex, items to start. Okay. On MD, items to center. Okay, great. And justify to between. Okay, so inside inside this div, we'll put an h1 that will say my tax. Okay, and yeah, so the text of 2XL font bold. Okay, that's not bad. So we have it this way. That's fine. Okay, and below this bottom, this title, I'm going to put a div and put some class names. What I'm going to say flex column, right? And items to start. Okay, on MD, flex row. Okay, and on MD, items to center, right? And a gap of 2. Okay, that's fine. Inside here, I'm going to put a button. So import button from component. Okay, and inside the button, I will check the sort direction, right? Okay, so if the sort direction equal to ASC, then I am going to say, what should I even say? Let's say oldest first, else newest first. Okay, I think that's fine. Let's see. Okay, so yeah, newest first, oldest first. Okay. And what again can I do? Okay, what I can do is I can give variant. So the variant will be outline. Yeah. And when we click on this, right? Okay, I am going to call the set sort direction, right? Okay, great. And okay, so yeah. So I'm going to call the set sort direction, then check sort direction is equal to, if it's equal to this, then I'll set it to this. If it's this, then I set it to this, right? Okay, so I think it'll work. So here, if I click on here, okay, I believe it has changed, but the effect is not taking place here. Okay, but we'll come to that. Okay, and now we'll also have another thing here. So I'm going to have below this, I'm going to have a drop down. So drop down menu from components, right? Great. And inside it, I'll have the trigger, okay, which is fine. Import trigger from UI and make sure it's as a child, because we're going to put in a button. And then I'll put the filter icon. Okay, filter icon. I think that it's been helpful. Then I will say, I think I can even add the word filter, right? Okay, let's see. Okay, yes, so we have it this way, filter. Great. Okay, so once we have the trigger, now we can come below it and have the drop-down content. So ensure to import drop-down content from UI, component UI. And inside it, we'll have the label, right? So drop down label. Okay, and the label will be filter tax. Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, and what I'm going to have again will be the separator, right? And then I have the list. So let me import the separator. And now I have the items, list of items. Ensure not to import from Radix, import all from the UI component UI. Okay. So now if I click, I have this list, right? Okay, so I have all to do, in progress, done, archived, and I think there was another one, hi, right? I think there was one called hi. Yes. Okay, great. So here I'm going to say all tags. That's fine. So now when you click on it, what do I want to happen is on click, right? Okay, so on click, I'm going to call the set function of set filter, right? And of set filter, great, and pass in all, right? And I'll do same for the rest. Okay, so here I'll pass in to do, in progress, done, archived, and hi. Great. Great. So here, yes. Okay. So now let's make sure we do the URL thing so that, yeah, we'll do it once and for all here. Okay, so I want to go up here, and I'm even done with this part. So I want to go up somewhere here. Okay, so okay, maybe somewhere here, and I'm going to use effect. So use effect from React, and I'll say this. Okay, and this. Okay, so I'm going to need two, so I'll duplicate it, right? Okay, so this. Okay, so the use effect, then you take a callback, and this here, the array here is the dependency. Okay, so the first one will take the dependency of the filter, right? Then sort direction whenever it changes, and the search. Okay, great. And the second one will take that of the search params. Okay, whenever the search params change, then we'll fire this use effect. And whenever any of these changes, then we'll call this one. Okay. Okay, so in the first one here, I'm going to go here. I'm going to say that cons params, right? Okay, which will be, I'm going to say record, right? We're going to give types record, where it will be strings and strings. Oh, okay. Yes, okay. So we'll put in types, and I'll say it will be equal to an empty object, right? Okay, so yes, it will be a record like the key, right? So the key and the value all will be strings. Okay, great. So once here, now we need to preserve the existing queries, right? If there be any existing params already, we need to preserve it. So how we're going to do it is I'm going to say search params, right? Search params dot for each. Okay, so we're going to use for each, where we'll get the value and the key. Okay, so we get value and we get key. Okay, great. We get value and we get key. And now we can say params. Then we pass in the key, right? Okay, then we put it equal to the value. Okay, so the params, then we pass in the key, then we put it equal to the value. Okay, which is pretty simple. Okay, once we're done with that, we can now say that params.filter should be equal to filter, params.sort should be equal to sort direction, then params.search should be equal to search, right? Okay, so once we do this, we preserve all of them. Then now we pass in the new ones, right? Okay, great. And what again should we need to do? Okay, let's add this one here. Okay, so here I'm going to say that set search param, or yeah, params. Okay, set search params. Then we pass in the params. Okay, and I'm going to say this and say replace being equal to true. Okay, yes. Okay, we're using replace equal to true. Okay, great. So let's go and see if there be any changes. Okay. Okay, so yeah, our app is still running. So let's check on the second one. Okay, so now here we're also going to make sure that so here this will help us keep the URL in sync with the data values here, right? We'll make sure that whatever values we have here and whatever we have in the URL should be saved, right? So this one is also, the second one is also going to help us that in case the URL changes, right? Changes externally, I mean user edits the URL, we need to have the values, right? Okay. Okay, so what I'm going to do is inside here, I'm going to say const URL filter equal to, okay, let's see. Okay, so URL filter equal to search params or get filter, which is fine. Okay, I can put or meaning we start from here. Okay, and sort, okay, same thing like we've done up there. And the search also equal to this, right? Okay, so what I'm going to say is that if URL filter, right, exists, if the URL filter exists, then we'll just say okay, maybe I can say that if the URL filter is not equal to, right, it's not equal to it's not equal to filter, right? If they are not the same, then it means, yeah, there's something. Then we need to make sure we keep them in sync, right? Okay, so if they are not the same, then I'm going to say that set filter to be equal to the URL filter, right? Okay, and here I'm also going to say that if this is not equal to sort direction, then this here is, if it's not equal to search, yes, then we also do same. Okay, I think that's fine. Okay, yeah, I think that's cool. So let's see. Okay, so nothing is showing. I don't know if we have a crash. Okay, it's working here. Everything here is also working. Okay, so let me check here and go here. Check from the console. Okay, so it says on code error. Okay, okay, so yeah, I am getting an error I do not even understand. Okay, let me check. Okay, so I think the error is from this import set grade from process. I don't know how I managed to import that, but please remove it. Yeah. Okay. And let me see. Okay, so now I have an understandable error, which says type error cannot read properties of undefined in length. Okay, so my tax 61, so we can go back, tax 61, 61. So here, so maybe I can put a question mark and let's go back and see. So it loads, okay, this. Okay, so it's now working. And now you can see we have the values in here. So we have filter, we have search and stuff, right? Okay, so yes. Okay. So now you can see this one changes and the URL also changes. So if I go here and I set it to all, okay, it's also set here, right? If I change it to high, it's also set here. Great. Okay, beautiful. So let's continue. And we can now continue with the UI. So here, okay, great. So come down here. Okay, 1 and 2. Okay, so here. So now I'm going to put the input box. So I'm going to say input from component this, and I'm going to say placeholder should be search tags 1, 2, 3. Yeah, and the value will be search. Okay, and on change will be get the value event, right? And we say set search to be e.target.value. Okay, so like that. And lastly, I'm going to put class name that says max width of MD. Okay, let's see. And now we have this here. Okay, beautiful. Okay, let's also search something. Okay, and if I search something, okay, something is here. Right, great. Okay, so now if I guess let me show you. If you check from here, you can see we have 2. So we're going to use tabs, right? Tab. Okay, so let's go back. And now after the input, I'm going to bring the tabs, right? Import tabs from component. Okay. And here I am going to say default value to be equal to list, right? Okay, I want to start from list. Oh, default value. Yes, great. And inside, I'm going to put tab list, import tab list. And now I'll put tab trigger for 2. Okay, let me remove this for now. I'll put tab trigger, and one will be for list and the other will be for, what name should I give? Let's just say board. And yeah, board. Okay, I think that's fine. So we can go back and now we have list and board, list and board. Okay, great. Let me say list view and board view. Okay, great. So after the tab list, now we can have the tab content. So also import that. And here, I'm going to say the value is list, right? And I'll duplicate this same, and this one will be for board. Okay, great. So inside here, I'm going to put a card. So import card from UI component and the card header, and inside the card header, card title. Okay, which will be my task. Okay, and I can now put description. So card description. And what I'm going to say is that sorted. Okay, so sorted tags.length, right? Okay, then tags found. I think that's all. Or tags, let's say assigned to you. I think that's fine. Okay, so if we go here, okay, here. So yeah, 2 assigned to you. Okay, great. Okay, so now let's continue. So yeah, we are still, yeah, I'm going to label this board view, right? And here as list view. Okay, so yes, inside here, now we can come to the card content. Okay, so a div and class name, divide y. Okay, great. So if you hover over this, yeah, you should see the classes, right? Okay, great. And what I'm going to do again is I'm going to say sorted task, right? Okay, question mark map. So when we map, we'll get each task and we need to return instantly. Okay, we are going to return a div. Okay, div, great, like this, great. And whenever you map over an item, you need a key. Okay, great. So I'm going to say tax._id is the key. Okay, and I'm going to put class names. So I'm going to say pattern for hover.bg muted -50. Yeah, okay. Inside this, I'll put another div, and let's also provide classes. So class flex column, on MD flex row. Okay, on MD item to center. Okay, justify to between, great, and margin bottom of 2. Let's also provide a gap of 3. Okay, great. Okay, so we have one more div, and class name gonna be flex. Okay, so now another one, yeah. Okay, and inside that one, inside this one, right, I'm gonna put this and say tax dot status equal to, if tax dot status, remove this. Okay, if equal to done, right? Okay, great. If it's equal to done, then I'm gonna put question mark and I'll return check circle. Okay, else I'll return clock. Okay, great. So here class name will be size of 4, and also same for the second one. Is color even important? No, the colors are not important here. So let's go and see. Yes, so we can see this and that. Okay, that's great. Oh, I think I could have even added the colors. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yeah, okay, let's keep the colors. Okay, great. So after that div, then I'll come and put another one, okay, with our classes. And now I'll put a link from React Router. And the two will go to, okay, so it will go to workspaces / tax.project.workspace, okay, / projects. Okay, yes. So workspace projects, then the project ID. Okay, that's fine. And the tax ID. Okay, that's fine. Okay, and inside this, now we are going to put a lot of stuff, right? Okay, so let me even start this straight up. Okay, so class name, I'm going to say it should be font - medium on hover test - primary. Okay, and hover also underline. Okay, we want to underline the test. I'm going to say transition of all. Now let me transition the colors instead. Transition - colors, and I'm going to say flex item to center. Okay, that's fine. And inside, I'm going to put tax.title. Okay. Then let me add arrow upright. Okay, great. Class name, size 4, and margin left of 1. That should be fine. We can check our progress. So we have this. Okay, then yeah. Okay, so I think I can give a little bit of room here, right? No. Maybe I can say margin right of also 2. Okay, yeah, I think that's fine. Okay, great. So yeah, that's the title, and below the title will be another div. Okay, so class name, flex items to center, right? Space of s of 2 and empty, that's margin top of 1. Okay, inside here I'm going to put a badge, import badge from UI component, and put in the tax.status. Okay, great. And now let's style it. So I'm going to say variant should be equal to tax.status, right? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to check if the start status is equal to done, it will be default, else outline. Okay, let's see how it turns up. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so after the badge, I'm going to go down and I'm going to say tax.priority. Great. Exist. Then I'm going to do this. I'm going to say another badge, right? Okay. Then inside it, I'll put the tax.priority. Okay, great. And here, let me give also variant. And here, I'm going to say tax.priority, right? If the priority equals to high, then I'm going to say it should be destructive, else it should be secondary. Okay, we can check. So if it is okay, so they are all high, right? Okay, that's fine. And now we can also have another one that says that if tax.isArchived is true, if it is true, then we show this badge, right? Okay. Okay, so yeah. So let's see. Yeah, okay. Now, okay, this one it is. So yes, then we can see this one here. I think the icon can be in line with the title. So the icon here, maybe I can change the center, right? And let's see. Yeah, I think this is fine. Okay, I mean, however you want it to be, you can let it be, right? Okay, so after the archived, come down 1, 2, 3 divs. Okay, and put another one. Let's start that one. Class name, test dash sm, right? Test dash muted dash foreground, foreground. Okay, I think I have a typo here. Okay, muted foreground, and I'm going to say space of y of 1. Okay, so inside here, I am going to say that tax.due date, right? If it does exist, then I'll show this div. Okay, so like this, and inside here, I'm going to say due, right? Okay, I'm going to say due, then I'll use the format from datefns format, then passing the tax.due date. Okay. Oh, okay, I also need to pass the format. So I'm going to say PPPP. Yes. Okay, this should be dot. Okay, so if it does exist, okay, let's see. Okay, so we'll see it here, right? Okay, that's fine. And what again? We can also have the project, right? So I'm going to say this will be tax dot project. No, tax dot project. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay, so tax dot project dot title. Yeah, I think that's it. And I am going to say, okay, let me say project, then this, yeah, something like this should be fine. And maybe I can place this one inside a span tag like this, and let's see. Okay, I also have the project and project title here. Okay, so maybe I can say class name to give a little bit of focus to the thing. I'm going to say medium and test. I think that's fine. That's fine. Okay, it's fine. And lastly, okay, so this one ends here. So lastly, I'm going to give another one. That'll be a div, then set modified on, right? Then format, then I'll pass in tax dot updated at date, right? And I also put the format of PPPP. Okay, great. Okay, so yes, great. So I think that's fine. Yeah, right. That's what we have. And maybe aside all these things here, this one ends here, right? Okay, so we can go up, 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 where we sorting, right? It ends here. So after all the sorting, we can even say that sorted tax. Oh my goodness. Okay. So yeah, so sorted tax, if sorted tax is equal to 0, we can see that no tax found. Yes, that's fine. So let's see if I try to sort by typing in something, right? So sorted tax is equal to 0. Okay, great. So let's say I type in test, it does work, great. And if I type in another, it works. And yeah, another. And here it's in the URL. So if I refresh it, let's see if I still get the same result, it is still same, right? Okay, great. So that is the first one, right? Okay, the list view. So I can close this side. Now we go to the board view. Okay. So in the board view, okay, in the board view, I'm first going to give a div, and class name will be grade dash course of 1, right? On MD, grade course of, okay, on MD, grade course of 2, and let me just make it 3 here and remove this one, and a gap of 4 should be fine. Okay, that's fine. And now inside here, I'm going to put a card. Inside the card, the card header. Inside the card header, is the card title, which will be to do great. Okay, so should there be okay, so I'm gonna put a badge here, okay, which is gonna be to do tags. Okay, so I need to get the to do tags, then dot length. Okay, so how do I get the to do tags? Let's come up here. So maybe here. Okay, here. So I'm gonna say const to do tag. Okay. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say to do tags. Then we just get the to do tags from the sorted tags, filter tags, where status is to do. In progress will also be this. Then done tags will be this. I think that is brilliant, right? Okay. Yeah. So here, yeah, that's fine. So after here, I can come to the card content. Okay, so let me give classes to this one. Okay, so pattern of 3, space y of 3. Okay, max height of should I say 600 pixels? Okay, an overflow of y of auto. Okay, we'll see to that how it goes. Okay, so here I'm just now going to map over the to do tags. Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to change this to card again. Yes, another card. Okay, so let's check it out. If I click here, we have 1 and 1. Okay, so what I can do here for the title, the header, right, and the badge, I think I can do this. Okay, why not put this one here, the badge inside the title? Then okay, let me do it this way. Then I'm going to say flex items to center and justify to between, and let's see. Great, so it comes here, and I can also say the badge should have a variant of outline. Okay, yes, I think that's fine. Okay, so here we have the tax ID as the key. That's fine. And let's also provide class name. So I'm going to say on hover, right? Okay, I'm going to have a shadow of MD and transition. Okay, transition dash shadow. Okay, great. Now, okay, so like we did, we're going to have also a link. Okay, like we did above there, same thing, right? We'll go to the same thing, and yeah, so let's see our progress. So yes, okay, that's fine. Maybe, okay, let me remove this. Okay, I'm going to say block. Block. Okay, so inside this here, I'm going to put h3 that will say tax.title, right? Okay, and here I'm going to put class name. So the h3 should be font of medium. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Okay, yes. Okay, and below it, I'll put a paragraph tag, which will take the tax.description. I'll just say no description. Okay, so the text will be SM text muted foreground, which is pretty fine. Okay, and that one, I can also introduce the line clamp of 3, right? Oh, sorry, that one ought to be here in the classes line clamp of 3, right? Okay, that's fine. And what again, it's even left. So below this paragraph tag, I'm going to put another div, and let's see, class name, flex items to center and margin top of 2. Okay, inside I am going to check. No, I need to put in a badge. right? Which is outline and for tax priority. Okay, let's see. Yes, we have the tax priority here. And should I even change the priority? So, okay, let me do it like this. So like we did, I'm going to check the tax dot priority, right? If it's high, I'm going to say it should be destructive else secondary, right? Okay, this is high. Okay, that's fine. And below this, we also have, okay, let me first check if tax dot due date exists. Then span tag. Okay, inside it, I'm going to say format. Oh, sorry, format, right? They will pass in due date, then also the format here. Okay, great. Like this. Okay, so let me also start this one. So I'm going to say test dash xx and test muted foreground. Oh, text dash muted foreground. Okay, great. Okay, so maybe here I can give a gap of 2, yeah, to also space it out. Okay, so I have it this way. I think this is too small, so I'm going to say this instead, and let's see. I think this is better than the first one. Okay, what again is left is we can come, where are we mapping? Where are we mapping? Okay, so here. Okay, so now we can also say that if to do tax length is 0, say no tax found. Okay, so that's fine. Okay, so yeah, that's pretty simple. So we're gonna do all same thing for the rest, right? So okay, so I'm just going to duplicate this, copy it, right, and put it. So here, this one is going to be for in progress, and here will be in progress, and change this to in progress tax, right? Okay, is this going to be same? Okay, here. Okay, then we can also change here to in progress, and let's see. Okay, no tax found, and we can do same for the other one. So I'm still going to paste what I copied, changes to done, done, right? Okay, or done tax or completed tax, and here also to same, and I think it should be it. Okay. So you see, so we have it this way. That's fine. Okay, so here and here, great. And let's see filters to do the works. Okay, in progress, there's nothing. Oh, here. Okay, so okay. Okay, let me see. Okay, I think I am seeing more than that. So are there more tags like that? I didn't know I have more tags like that. Okay. Oh, okay. So I have a lot of them. Okay, so that is pretty much it. And now let's go to the members. Okay. Anyway, if you click on this, it should take you to the tax details page. Right. Okay, great. So now in the next episode, we'll go to the members. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay, so now let's come to the Workspace members page, right? Okay, so you kind of see that it has a similar pattern like this one, right? So yeah, that's what we're going to do now. Okay, so here I will want to copy all that is in this page, right? And create okay, so we are in the front end app, routes, then dashboard, and I'll create that for members.tss, right? Okay, so I'll paste all that I copied and change this to members. Okay, so I'm going to remove a lot, right? So here I remove this. I also remove this one, and yeah, okay, so I remove this. So this is the second This will be for board. Okay. Also, and this will be for list. So also here, I am going to remove this. Okay, great. And now, okay, I think that one we're not doing any sorting, right? Are we doing anything? Okay, there's nothing there. It's just this and a search input. Okay, so here I can remove all of this, right? Together with, so I can even remove this button, this div, and just leave this button here, right? So we have list and board view on here. Okay, so do we have any notes there? In here? So here, okay, we have, yeah, members, and yeah, great. Okay, so I think we're on the right course. So here we can see members, and the number of members will come here. Okay, members in your workspace. Okay, I think the statement is true. And now I will go up here and change this name to members, right? Okay, to kind of match it. And okay, and I think in the backend, right? In the backend, we have the route already. So let's go to routes, workspace. And I think we have the workspace details page. Yeah, this one, right? I believe that's the page. Okay, because in that page we take, yeah, the ID, we get the details, and where is it? Here. Okay, so I'll toggle this one, workspace details, and here we fetch the workspace and we populate the members, right? Yes, so we can use this one. Great. Okay, so workspace and the workspace ID. Okay, so here, then I will now close this and I'll search for the, so search is Control P, then use workspace, right? Okay, do I even have the hook already? I'm not sure. So what I'm going to say is export cons use get workspace workspace details query. Okay, can you guess, sir? Okay. Okay, so yeah, Keza is trying to guess. So workspace, then the workspace ID and the details. Okay, so it goes to workspaces, then the workspace ID, which is absolutely correct. Okay, so here I'll copy this. Come back here. Okay, there are a couple of things that I need to remove. Okay, so we don't need filter, we don't need sorting, we only need search, right? So initial search. Okay, and I can remove this ones here. Okay, and in the use effect, right? Okay, so in the use effect here, well, okay, so here to preserve, okay, oh, okay, so yeah, we can remove this too, right? And also remove this here, we'll not need it. And I will come to the second part where I will be grabbing search, so I can remove this too, will not need it, we'll only need this, and also this will go. Great. And the search is that's same. Okay, so here while doing the fetching, so here I'm going to change this to this and import this. Okay, and this will be workspace instead, right? Okay, here. And I'll remove this, just make it data. Okay, has this been imported? Yes. Okay, so why the error? Oh, okay, so here I need to get the workspace ID. So how can I get a workspace ID? Okay, so I think I have the search param, so I'm going to say cons workspace ID. Yes, so search. Okay, I'm going to use the search params and pass in this workspace ID, and now I'll pass in the workspace ID here, right? Put exclamation mark that it will be there. Okay, great. And okay, so the loader will be the loader here. And now let us filter. So I'm going to call this filtered members. Okay, so filtered members will be okay, so let me check how the data was returned here. So detailed here, so we're returning workspace, right? Okay, so in the workspace, we'll have the members. Okay, so here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, okay, so here I'm going to remove all of this. And I'm going to say data.members, right? Yeah. Okay, data.members.filter. Okay, let me put question mark and question mark. Okay, because workspace ought to have members. So what is it? Workspace. In a workspace, there is members. Okay, great. So that's fair. Okay, so if you filter, we get the member where member.user.name to lowercase be included in the search. Okay, that's fair. We can also check for okay, I'm also going to check for email. Okay, that's fine. And I can even check for row. Oh no, let's check for the row instead. Okay, great. And now I can remove this. I can also remove this. Why are we getting this? Okay, so maybe, okay, then I'm going to do this, that if there is no data, right? Okay, if there's no data, I'm going to return no workspace found. Else, then we do this. Okay, members does not exist on type workspace. But we just saw workspace and members, right? So am I missing something? Okay, and here we're just returning where in the workspace here we're just returning the workspace. Great. Okay, so I have removed a lot. So here I'm going to change this to filtered. Yes, members. Okay, let me do this. Console log filtered members as well as console log the data, right? We need to see. Okay. Oh, I don't even think we have added the page. So go into the routes, right? Great. And here, add route for workspace. Just going to be members and then this. I think, yeah, members and then this. Okay, it says no workspace found. Wow. Oh, okay. So I think I haven't selected a workspace. Let me select. Okay, okay. So I think we have something. Let's see. Yes, we have a workspace, and in the workspace, we have members. And I think this is even the filtered ones, right? Yes. So why the warning? Why the warning? Okay. Okay, so here I'm going to say this, or even workspace ID does not exist, right? Okay. So, oh, okay. I think I've seen the issue here. It's supposed to be just one. It is not a list. It's just one workspace. Oh my goodness. Okay, here will be member row and not, no, here member.row. Great, like this. Great job. I think now everything should be working, right? Okay. Let me check from this, my workspace. Also the same. Okay. So okay, that's fine. Okay, or maybe I should bring this one below the loader and let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, the loader loads and no workspace found. Wow, how come no workspace was found? Okay, so I'm going to say cons filtered. Okay, I'm only going to list this and see again. Filtered. Okay, I think it's now. Okay, I am still not getting anything. So let's see our backend running. Yeah, it is. Okay, so here I'm gonna, oh, okay, let me console log the data as well. Okay, but there is data. So, okay, so there's data. So why am I, oh, let me remove this and see. Oh, okay. I think here, exclamatory mark. Yes, if there is no workspace ID. Yes. I think hence our problem. Yes, great. Yes, we have it this way. So yeah, did we not change titles? Okay, so here it's going to be workspace members and search for members. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, great. Okay, so here we have one member. Okay, so what we can do is now simple. We just need to map over, right? So we have here already. So yes, let's come here and just do filtered members dot map. We'll get each member and now return a div. Okay, like this. Great. Where we put a key, and the key will be the member.user underscore ID. Okay, and I'm going to say class name, flex column. Okay, MD, flex row, items to center, justify to between. Okay, pattern -4 and gap of 3. Okay, and inside I'm going to put another one. Okay, let's also start that one. Also flex, items to center, and a space of x of 4. Okay, inside, then I'm going to put the avatar. So component, and the avatar will have the avatar image and the fallback. Okay, so the avatar image will point to the user profile, and the fallback will be the name. Okay, great. So here I'm going to say, okay, I don't think it's even needed. Yeah. Okay, let's see. Yeah. So I have one here. Can I say maybe I give a background of gray dash 500? Will it even apply? Let's see. Okay, I can see it, but I think it's there. Okay, so after the avatar, I'll go here and put a div, and inside that div I'll put a paragraph tag which will take the member.user.name, and class name will be, okay, so class name will be font of medium. Okay, and below it I'm going to put another one which will take the email, and that one is going to be small. Then okay, I think the font is also cool. Yeah, something like this. Okay, and okay, so after this one, come down 1, 2 here. Okay, and put another one. Now class name. Okay, so it's going to be flex, items to center, space of x of 1. Okay, margin left of 11, and on MD, margin left of 0. Okay, and inside I'm going to put in a badge. Okay, and in the badge I'll put in the member.row. Okay, so variant. So the variant will be okay, let me list this like admin and owner. Okay, so I'm going to say dot includes. So if it's either admin or owner, right, that is, we say member.row. So if the member row includes one of these, if the member row is either admin or owner, what are we going to do? What we're going to do is that we're going to say that it should be destructive, else it should be secondary. Okay, so if the member role is either admin or owner, then this, else this. Okay, let's see. So yeah, I'm owner, so that's fine. And I'm going to put class name here. And I'll just say capitalize. Okay, to capitalize the first word. Yes, that's fine. And what again is left? I think that's all. So maybe after this badge, I can put another one. Badge, and that one will be data.name, right? Data.name will be the workspace name, and the variant should be outline, right? Yeah. Yes. So yeah, new workspace. That's all. Okay. And now let's go to the other one here. Okay. So here, grade column of 1 on MD, grade column of 3, and maybe now here we can put LG grade course of 4. Yeah, I think that's fine. And now inside here, we can now also map over the filtered members, right? Great. And now return, let's return a card. Okay. And should I give verse here? Not needed. Okay, classes will not be needed. And here I'm going to put, okay, too many things have been added. Okay, so I have the header. I don't even think I'll need a header, right? Okay, so let me change this to card content. Okay, so card content, let me say class name, P of 6, right? Flex column, items to center, and text also center. Okay, so here inside, I'm going to put the avatar again. Okay, so the avatar, okay, and yes. But this time, it's not only background. Let me also give size of 20. Okay, and margin bottom of 4. Okay, so if I go here, okay, I think I can see this. So after the avatar, I'll put H3. And H3, okay. So the H3 will take the name, test large. I think that's fine. And this the email SM, that's also fine. Okay, and below it, we can also put, the same badges, right? So the row, okay, row, okay, let's see, can you figure out the same like we did? Okay, yes. Have I added what I want? Okay, great. So the same thing, right? If it's member, destructive else, the other one. And yeah, I think that's fine. Is it the same? Yeah. Okay, so literally that's what we have. Okay, I think the only changes is that in here we can say maybe substring, right? So substring 1 up to 2, right? So that we have, say like 2 characters, and we can even say this uppercase. Okay, that's fine. Maybe like this, something like this. Okay, so yeah, we're done with this one. So let's try to search. If I put gibberish, it goes away. Great. And if I put CodeWave, it's still there. Okay, great. So now the next one, we'll be going to the archives. Then we go to the user profile. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Welcome back, coders. Okay, so we're left with these 2 pages, right? But I will leave that one for you to handle, right? So this is just a list of all the archive projects and that of tags. So you just need to fetch them, right? And just display them here, just like that, right? Okay, so I believe you can do it. And also the settings page for workspace, right? Remember that, you see, this is the same as workspace creation. So you can just copy that page here. This time is just that you updating instead of creating, right? Okay, so I realized we did not do that of invite members, so that one is I think important than this, so let's handle that one. Okay, so here it's not working, right? I don't remember it's working, right? So if I put any email in, okay, so we're gonna do this page. So I'll go here and I'll go to the workspaces, select the workspace, and here we didn't do this, so this is what we're going to do. Okay, so let's begin from the backend, right? Okay, so it's inside the workspace details here, but let's begin from the backend. So I will search for workspace, right? And I'll go inside the workspace route. Okay, so Control P to search. Okay, workspace route, and I'm going to add that one up here. So we are going to have a couple of them. Okay, so I'm going to say workspace.post. Okay, and this one is going to be for okay, so we'll have to accept invite, right? Invite. Okay. Okay, so there will be two ways. Now we can accept the general invite, right? And we can also accept a specific invite. That is, when they invite us through an email, right, it will come with a token. Okay, so that's why I'm adding the word token. And the general one will not come with a token, right? Okay, so the invite through the email will come with a token which have expiry timeline, right? It can expire, but the other one does not expire. You can invite them at any time. Okay, so here, then we'll do the middleware. Then we'll also do the validate request. Okay, so here, I think I can put that one here straight, object, and inside the object we'll have token, which will be of type string. Okay, so like this. So accept invite, yeah, invite by token. Yes, maybe I can put my token here. Okay, and we also have another one that will be like what again should I do? Okay, let me also do the post for okay, so here I'm going to take the workspace ID. Okay, what is this? Okay, workspace ID, and I'll say invite. I'm going to say member, right? Okay, so here the middleware, and here, okay, I'm going to remove this, to avoid the error that we're having, right? And I'll go inside here. Email. Okay, we have email schema, and here we'll need the email, I believe. So here we'll need two things, right? Okay, so I'm going to say cons. Okay, invite member. Okay, so we'll need the email and the row, right? Okay, that's fine. So I'll put that one here. Okay, and I'll bring that here. Where should I put it? Here. Okay. Okay, and make sure to import it, right? Okay, so invite member. Okay, so yeah, and okay, great. Should we have need of parameter? Okay, yes, we'll have. So I'm going to put here, say params, right? Okay, and the params will also be the, oh, not this. Here. Here. Okay. So I'm going to put params here, and the params will be the workspace ID. Yes, that's right. Okay, so that's it. And here, okay, invite member, and we'll have a last one which will be for dot also a post, and that one we'll also need the workspace ID. Okay, let's see. So workspace ID, and I'm going to say accept general invite. Okay. Okay, so accept general invite, right? Okay, and we also have this. We'll validate it. So yes, what we need the workspace ID, and that's pretty much it. We'll not need anything again. So here will be like accept general invite or invitation. Anyhow, whatever name you want to give to it, right? Okay, so let's start from the invite, right? So I'll go inside the controller workspace, and here. Okay, so cons. Let me start from this. So here, this. Okay, so something like this. I can also create another one for, wait, please. Okay, let's create the others then. We'll import everything to cons, also accept by token. Okay, so I can put all of them here. Great. So we have these three functions that we're going to handle, and I'll now come here and import all of them. So I'll import this. Okay, I will also import this, and lastly I'll import this. Okay, great. So now we can come here and work on how we can invite members. So here I am going to put this console log the error. Okay, and also do this. So I'm going to copy this, put it here, and put it here. Okay, great. So here we are taking the workspace ID, then we take the email and the row from the body, which is fine. And now let's get the workspace. So workspace will be workspace.find by ID. Okay, that's fine. And as usual, you know, if workspace does not exist, we say there is no workspace found, right? Okay. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to say user membership info. Okay, so now it's going to be the workspace that we have, right? Dot members dot find. Okay, so here we want to find member. So okay, great. I think the suggestions are fine. So here we want to find member, right? And the member.id to string should be equal to the user ID. We want to know if the user is already a member, the current user, right? Okay, so we're checking the membership of the current user. I mean, the one doing the invitation. Okay, great. So if you are not admin or the owner, you cannot invite anybody to this workspace. Okay, so what we'll do is that I will say if there is no user membership info, right? Okay, that's fine. If there is no, or okay, I'm going to put this and I'll say admin and owner. Okay, great. Dot includes, right? Does not include user ID. Okay, great. Okay, so here we are saying that if this does not exist, and here also if you are not admin of this, so here should be the request.user.role. Okay, and okay, no, I think I should use this one instead. Right, great. And your role in this workspace is not included in one of the, or if it's not one of these, right? Meaning if you're not admin or owner of the workspace, you cannot invite anybody. So you are not authorized to invite members to this workspace. I think that's fine. Okay, great. So now we need to check if the user is already a member. So here I'm going to say user already member, right? Okay, so here I'm also going to find, right? I'll find from the workspace members where the person you are inviting, the email you're inviting, right? To do that, I think I need to find okay, let me make it existing user where this will be user.find one. Okay, user.find one. Okay, so I'll find the person, the person you want to invite, right? Great, using their email. And if the person does not exist, if user does not exist, we say that yes, user not found, meaning you cannot invite them, right? The email must be there. And also let's say is member, right? Let's see if the person is a member of the workspace already. So I say workspace of members.sum. Okay, we can use some where we get each member, and each member ID should be equal to the existing ID, right? Okay, great. The reason we can use the email is that we only save the IDs and not the email. So we need to first find the user, then we can use their ID. Okay, so if, yes, okay, so because are you getting it? If you are a member, we say that user already a member of this workspace. That is also fair. Okay. Now, we can also check if the user is already invited, right? So let's say cons is invited because we track the invitation. So I'm going to say await workspace. There's a workspace invite model. Okay, I think I don't have it, so maybe we can create it. So I'm just going to put it here. That says workspace invite.js, right? And I'll put in here. Okay, so this is very simple. We're creating a model. So we have the user, the invited user ID. We have the workspace ID here. We have the token. We have their role being set here. And we have the expire at, right? And we are exporting it here, right? Okay, so this is what we're going to use. So I'll go back here and put it here. Make sure to import it. Okay. And what I'll do is, okay, so I'm going to say find one. So here, dot find one. Okay, great. Where user will be equal to the existing user.id. And we can also say workspace ID equal to workspace underscore ID. Were we taking any workspace ID here? Yeah. Okay. So we can either use that or use this one. Anyone. Okay. So you can invite somebody once, right? You can invite them twice for a particular workspace. Okay. Dot. Okay, great. So once we check that, so once we get that, if that exists, right? So we're going to say that if is invited, great. If it is invited and is invited, okay, dot expires, okay, yeah, okay, dot expires at, right? Okay, so we'll check the expires at date. If it is greater than new date, right, which is like now. Okay, great. Can you return something? Okay, so we'll just say that user already invited to this workspace, meaning the user exists and the timer is still active, so we can join the workspace. Okay, now let me give some space. Okay, so what again we can check is that if it's invited, right, and okay, and the time is less, okay, easy. Okay, so if it's invited and the time has expired, right, meaning we will have to delete the workspace. So say await.delete one, where we'll pass in the ID, right? Okay, so delete one where we'll pass in the ID, and that will be deleted. So because we need to send a new request. Okay, so if all things being equal, I'm just going to say invite token will be equal to JWT. We'll be using JWT. Okay, so ensure to import JWT here. Okay, JWT, where am I? Okay, here, JWT.sign. Okay, what are the things we'll need? Okay, so we'll need the user, which will be the existing user ID. Okay, we will need the workspace ID, okay, which will be the workspace ID. We'll also need their role, which will be row, and I'm going to put default member. Okay, great, like this. And what again we need after this curly brace, I'm going to put process. Oh, what is happening? Okay, yeah, okay, let's forget about this one for now. So here we'll also need the key, right, and we need the expire sat. So here I'm going to make it like 7 days, right? Okay, you can do anything you want here. Okay, great. So okay, so now once we are done, what we're going to do is to add this into the workspace. So workspace invite dot create, where we put in the user ID, the workspace ID, token equal to this token, and row will be equal to row, expires at 7 days, so 7 times 24. Okay, that's also fine. Okay, so now that we're done, we need to get the link, right, and the message. Okay, so maybe I can copy that one. Okay, so here, okay, so I am just generating the invite link using the URL that we have in our .env, that is for the front end. And here I'll put in the okay, so the front end URL slash workspace invite, then the workspace ID and the invite token, which is here. Okay, great. So once that, we say the email content will be you have been invited to join, then the workspace name will come here, right? Okay, yeah, the workspace name will come here, and also click on the link here, and yeah, the link will show here. Okay, that's fine. And now we are calling the send function, which I believe should be imported by now. Okay, so let me see. Okay, yeah, yes, it's here. Okay, so import the send function, right? Okay, and now we pass in the email. That will be the to, and the subject, right, and the email content. I think those are the things it takes, right? Here, okay, it's not exported as default, so we pass in the to, the subject, and the HTML. Okay, so I think here, yes, it ought to be like this because it's not exported as default. Okay, so I'm passing in the to, the subject, and the content. Okay, great. So once that is done, yeah, we can now return, right? Okay, so I'm going to say response.status 200. Okay, yeah, that's all, right? Okay, great. So this will help us to invite members to the workspace. So if I check the terminal, I can see it is still running. Okay, so how do we also accept? Okay, how do we accept by the token, right? Okay, so that's what we're going to do next. So I will still be Okay, I can close this. I can close here. I'll still be in here. And here is accept general invite. Okay, now let's go to this first. Accept by token. Okay, so accept by token. Now we're getting the token from the body, right? I think it was so. We're getting the token by token. Yes. Okay, so we're getting the token. Once we get the token, we can now decode the token. Okay, so like this, jwt.verify token, then we pass in the secret. Okay. Now we can decode it. So we have the user, we have the workspace ID, we have the row. Okay, great. So one thing we need to do is to fetch the workspace, right? So we're going to say workspace, then we fetch it with the workspace ID. Okay, that is pretty fine. And if there is no workspace, you know the drill. We just return that no workspace found. Okay, great. And let's also check if you are a member already, right? Okay. So we will also use that. Yes, it's member. Okay, so it's member. Oh my, okay, don't worry. Okay, so we check it's member, then workspace.members.sum, where we pass in each member, then the ID will be equal to the user, right? Okay, I mean the decoded user. So we'll say that if you are a member, meaning you're a member already, so you can join the workspace again. Okay, if you are not, then we need to get the invite, right? So I'm going to say const invite info. Okay, so we're going to say workspace invite, where we will fetch the information with the user ID and the workspace ID. Okay, so if it does not exist, then we cannot find that information, right? In other words, we can proceed because that invitation does not exist. Okay. However, if the invitation exists, we need to also check the time, whether it has expired or not. So if, okay, so if, okay, I think that's fine. If invite info dot expires at is less than this, right? Then what can we do? We'll say, okay, so what should we do? I'm not going to delete it. So yeah, that is when you try to send again, that is where we'll delete it. So I'm just going to say that invitation has expired. That's all. Okay, great. So yeah, invitation has expired. However, if it hasn't expired, right? If it is still active, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to say workspace.members.push. Okay, so workspace.members.push, then I'm going to push in the user. We have destructured it up here, right? Yes, from the data that we decoded. So the user and the row will be the row, and there's a joint add will be okay date now. Then we'll just save the workspace. Okay, great. Now, once we are done, we need to do something. I'm going to say await. Yeah, okay. So await promise.all. Okay, so here I'm going to say okay, workspace invite or delete one. Okay, I'll delete that one, and I'll also need to do record activity, right? I hope you remember that. I don't know if it has been imported, right? Okay, so let me see. I think it's inside the libs here. Yes, record activity, this one. Okay, so record activity, ensure it's imported. Okay, and what is the activity that we are recording? I'm going to pass in the user, right, as the user ID. Then I'll pass in the join workspace. Okay, then here will be workspace, right, and I'll put in the workspace ID. Then I'll put in the detail, which will be description, will be yeah, joined workspace. Okay, I think that's okay, right? Okay, that's fine. Okay, so once that is done, we can say invitation accepted. Okay, that's okay. So now let's look at how we can accept the general invitation, which should be pretty simple, right? So come here. Okay, that one, we're getting the workspace ID through the params, and you know the drill. We need to fetch workspace, and if workspace not found, we say workspace not found. And we also need to check if you are a member already. It's member, right? The same drill. Okay, so if you are not, then we'll say you are not a member. If you are, we'll say you are not. You are a member. If you are not, then we can add you, right? Okay, so if you are a member, then we'll say you are a member already. There's no need of invite information, right? Okay. So what I'm just going to do is I'm just going to say workspace.members.push, right? Okay. I think that's fine. Okay, so if you join through the general invitation, we are just going to add you as a member, right? Okay, so this will be the user ID. Will add you as a member and this. Okay, and we can now see await workspace.save, and now we can also record an activity. Okay, after recording the activity, we'll send a response that's yes. Okay, yeah, I think that's also cool. Okay, so what we can do now is to come here. Okay, so now we can come here and begin to work on the UI, right? Yeah, in the workspace details here, page here, right? I'm gonna say invite invite member. Oh, okay, invite member dialog where we're passing the workspace ID or passing the workspace ID, which is here. And okay, it's open and this, and I don't need to pass the members. The members are not important. Okay, so I'll go inside components. I can toggle the backend. I can go inside component workspaces, and I'll say invite member.tss. Okay, great. So here I'm going to say export cons invite member dialog. Okay, and I'm going to say return, and I'll return a dialog. So import dialog from UI. Okay, so like this. And now I can go here. Okay, so I can come back here and import this. Great, great. So now let's come back here. So first, let's accept the props, right? So I'm going to go up here and say interface. Okay, so we'll need is open on open change and workspace ID. Yes. Okay, so yeah, this will be a boolean. This will be a function that will help change the state, right? So here we'll accept all of them, right? Okay, take it easy. Okay, we'll accept all of them here, and now we'll set the open to is open and on open change to on open change. Okay. Now here, let's also get some. Let's get to the schema. Okay, so here I'm also gonna put. I think we have a schema. Sorry, we have a schema file. Okay, so in here I'm going to put this, and I'll make sure to export it. So export this, right? Okay, so we can use it here. Okay, so here what I'm going to say is that I'm going to say export type invite member form data. Okay, so like this, where we are going to use Zod. So import Z from Zod, and we say infer type of then invite schema. Okay, so now we have the types here. So now we can come here and say cons form should be equal to use form, which is coming from React hook form. My goodness. Use form is coming from yes, React hook form, and I'll pass in the type, which is the invite here. Okay, great. When I pass in that, we also need the resolver, which will be Zod resolver. So import Zod resolver and pass in the invite type. Do not import this as type. It's a schema. Okay, great. And now the default values are this and that. Okay, great. I'm also going to create the onSubmit handler here. Okay, which will just console log. Okay, so here, no, we don't need this. Okay, maybe I can say this. And here I'll put in this and put in the type. Okay, here like this. Okay, so data will be of this type. Okay, great. Okay, so yeah, so this is it. So now let's do the UI first, then we'll come to the other ones. Okay. So in the UI here, so now this will help us. Okay, so we're going to put the dialog content from UI. Okay, and in the content, I'm going to put the dialog header. Okay, and the header will have the title. So import title from UI and see that invite to workspace, which is fine. Okay, so if we go back, I think we can go back. Okay, so it's already showing. If I click here, yes, invite to workspace. Okay, so we have the header, and now inside, we are still inside the content. So here I'm going to use tabs, right? So import tabs from UI. Okay, and let me come here and provide default value. Default value will be email, right? Okay, so you can invite by email or by other things. Okay, so value will also be, okay, so I'm going to put invite tab. Okay, and on change. So I need to get this invite type here, tab. So I'm going to put it here, which will say, okay, let me bring it up here. Okay, so this should be form, not phone. Okay, so invite type, ensure to import use state. Okay, and by default it will be email, right? Okay, and I'm also going to say cons okay, here I'm going to say link copied, right? And set link copied to false. Okay, great. I think that's fair. Okay, so here on value change, also this. Okay, so now I'm going to put tab trigger, right? No, tab list first. So tab list, and ensure to import tab list. Okay. Okay, and inside the tab list, we have two things. Can you guess together? Okay. Okay, so you invite by email or by link. Okay, or okay, I'm going to say share link. And here we send email. Okay. Should we check? Okay, so we have these two, right? Okay, that's fine. So now after the list will be the tab content, import tab content. Okay, and this one will have the value of email, right? Okay, take it easy. Okay, and there will be second one, which will be that of link. Okay, great. So let's do the email one. Okay, so I'm going to say a div, right? And inside the div, let's provide classes. So class name will be grid and gap of 2. Okay, now let's say gap of 4. Okay, and I'll put another one with also class name grid, then gap of 2. Okay, great. So between this, that's where I'll put the form. So import form from UI like this and put in form again. Okay, so here we need to spread the form instance that we created. And now here on submit, right? We'll call the form.handle submit and we'll pass in our on submit handler. Okay, so I'm going to give a div here, and this div I'm going to say it should be flex column and space of y of 6 and width of full. Okay, great. Should I start this form? Okay, let's go on and see. Okay, so you know how we create form over and over again, right? So I'm just going to copy the input. Okay, so here we have form field, right? And which the name is the email. Okay, and here we have the form item, and we have the label, email address, then the control, which will be an input. So import input, right? Great. So we have all of this, so we can check our progress. So we have this, beautiful. And if I click here, okay, great. So now we're left with the row, and the row it's going to be so I'll just copy this again. Okay, and put it here. Great. And I'm going to change here to row. Okay, and here to okay, here to be select row. Oh, select row. Okay, and yeah, so in the form control, okay, I'm going to say div. Okay, I'm going to say class name, flex gap of 3, right, and flex wrap. Okay, so inside, I'm going to say rows. Okay, I think I need to bring the rows. Okay, so here I will put it up here somewhere here, right? So the rows is either admin, member, viewer, right? Yeah. So I can just say rows dot map, right? Can use the map function. Okay, so row dot map. Okay, so map where we get each row, and now we can return. Okay, so I'm going to return a label. Okay. Okay, so returns do have key, so I'll put the row as key. Okay, and I'll put class name, which will be flex items to center. cursor, pointer, great, and gap of 2. Okay, that's fine. And inside it, I am going to put the normal input. Okay, so input, something has been suggested. Okay, so the input of which the type is going to be a radio button. I don't remember I installed a radio button from Shadcn. I could have used that, but let's use this. And the value will be row. Okay, so here, maybe I can even remove this. Okay, and class will be hidden. Okay, so I'm going to say checked. Okay, so checked will be equal to field value. Its field value equal to row, then means it is checked. If not unchecked, I am going to call okay, let me see this, right, and pass in the row. Okay, that's fine. Okay, yes, okay, we're getting somewhere. And now after this, I'm going to put a span, and in the span, I'll put in field dot value, right? So field dot value, field dot value equal to row, right? If it does, no, okay, okay, I'll say row. Let me see this. Okay, great. Okay, let me do it this way. Maybe I can just put the row here, right? And let's see. Okay, we have it this way. So admin this. Okay, great. So let's start it. So here I'm going to put class name, which I'll say should be capitalized. Okay, that's fine. Let's see. Okay, we have it this way. And we can also have another one. Okay, so I am going to do this way here. I'm going to say here if field, okay, field dot value equal to row, right? Then I'll show this. I'll show a span. Okay, great. I'm going to show a span. This time it can be a self-closing one, right? Okay, and I'm going to put classes. So, okay, so width of 2, height of 2, rounded full, and BG of white. Okay, let's see. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I think it's kind of here, but you can see it that well. Okay, great. So okay, input. So what I'm going to do is that, okay, maybe I should place all of this inside a span tag. And again, something like this. And let me give the outer styling to this, right? Great. So here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the CN U2. Okay, great. So now I'm going to say width of 7, height of also 7, rounded dash full, okay, and border dash 2. Okay, border should be let's say blue dash 300. Okay, great. Flex items to center. Okay, justify to center, and maybe transition or okay, and I'm going to say duration of also 300. Okay, great. So yeah, let's see. Let me see. Okay, I don't think it's getting better. Okay, let's see what is happening. Okay, and okay, let me make this 3 and 3. Okay, here. Okay, I don't think it's getting better. Let's finish it and see. Okay, so here I'm going to say hover, then shadow of let me make it LG. Okay, so here after all these classes, okay, I'm going to say comma, then I'm going to say okay, field should be field. Okay, so if the field, okay, so if field.value is equal to the row, right, then I'm going to apply this classes, which is I'll remove this, right? I can even add the background here. So bg blue dash dash 900. Okay, great. So here, if it is the one selected, I'm going to say ring dash 2 and ring blue 500. Okay, then ring offsets 2. Okay, and I think that's fine. Let's check. Okay, so I have it this way, right? Okay. Oh, I think my bad. I place this one. It should be outside the span, right? Great. I place the test inside. Yes, like this. Okay. So here, something like this, right? Okay, so I think something has changed here. Here ought to be white, right? That is the little circle inside, right? The circle inside here need to be white. Yes, so yeah, we have designed our own radio button. Okay, so that is it. And okay, so after all these divs here, form item, this one here, okay, this form here, but still inside the form, right? I'm going to put the bottom. So import bottom, and that says send. And we can even put the email icon, right? Can you suggest, please? Mail. Okay, great. And I'm going to say class name, with or false. Okay, that's fine. And here, I don't need this. Maybe I only need margin top 4. Okay, that's fine. Okay, here it's here. I think it doesn't make much difference if it's here, right? Okay, then if here, then we can make it even full like this. Let's see. Yeah, I think this is kind of clean than the other one, right? What do you think? Okay, so I'm going to say 6 instead. Yeah, I think this is kind of clean than the other one. Okay, great. So yeah, I think that is all. We can give a size of LG, I mean big. Okay, so yeah, I think that is it. Here I'm going to place a placeholder that is email address. Okay, I think that is fine, right? Okay, so let's also look at the other side. I think the other side should be pretty simple, so maybe I can even just copy and paste it, right? Okay, so this is the first side, right? Okay, so here, good, I'm just going to put it here like this. So here I have label, so import label from UI. Okay, and I'm just saying that share this link to invite people. Okay, and I have an input which will take the value of windows.location, right? So that we can get the address wherever we are of our website, right? So here, if it's local, we'll get local. When we deploy it to, we'll get a deployed one. We don't have to do any other thing. Then we'll say workspace-invite, then the workspace ID, and here at the bottom, and we'll do this invite, right? And we'll check if the link has been copied. We'll show this check icon. So import it, then we'll say copied. Then if not, then we'll show this icon. Okay, so something like this, right? And we also have a note here that says anyone with this link can join your workspace, right? Okay, yeah, that's a public link. So I can come up here, and I say cons. Okay, great. Okay, something has been suggested. I guess it's right. So what I'm going to say is here. Okay, so navigator.clipboard, right? Dot write test. Then now this the same thing like we have there, right? That's it. Okay, so once we do that, we'll set the link copied to true, right? Then we can even set a timer. Okay, brilliant. A timeout for some few seconds. I'm going to say 3,000. After 3,000, then we'll set it to false. Okay, so let's go and check. So if I click here, yes, this anybody with a link, and this it's only read only. So right, if I copy it, you see copied, and after some seconds it goes back. Okay, that is absolutely fine. Okay, so remember this input, you have to set it to read only, right? So that user cannot edit the test. Okay, so now what is left is how we can create it. So let's get to the mutation. So I'll search for, so Control P, use workspace hook. Okay, and now I'll come down here and I'll say export cons use invite member mutation. Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, we invite into workspace. Okay, so that's it. And here we'll take Okay, I'm going to do it this way. We'll take the email, which is a string, the row, which is also a string, and workspace ID, which is also a string. Now pass in the workspace ID here, then we can pass in the rest here. Okay, great. So it goes to, let's check the URL one more time. It goes to invite member, not just an invite member. So here, invite member. Okay, I think yeah, I think it should be fine now. Okay, so we can go and use this here. Okay, so in here, before this, I'm going to say cons this and this, import this, great, and we'll get the mutation. So we'll get the mutate and is pending. Okay, so I'll go all the way down and I'll say here, even, okay, so even this button, I can disable it when it's pending, right? And let me come inside this form again. Okay, so here we also have the button here. So I'm going to say disable when it's pending. Okay, and let's see if I can also disable these triggers, right? I'm going to try it. So disable when it's pending. Okay, so yeah, when it's pending, you can switch the tab, right? Yeah. Okay, I think that's okay. Okay, so I'll come inside the onSubmit, right? Okay, so inside the onSubmit here, first I'll check if there is no workspace ID, right? I will just return. Okay, but if it does, then I'll just say mutate. Then I need to pass in the data, which will be workspace ID, then data. I don't think we said it should be data. We said workspace ID, email, and this. Okay, so we can either spread them. Yes, okay, yeah, we're spreading them, so that's fine. Okay, so when it's successful, we have the unsuccess, right? We give a toast that the person has been invited. We can reset the form, right? Okay, let's reset the form first. So yes, we can reset the form and yeah, set all of this to, yeah, and just close the form. Okay, and on error, let's see what we can do. So I'm going to say here to be of any, right? And here error will be error response and this, that. We can also console log the error itself, right? Okay, so yeah, I think that is fine, right? Okay, so maybe we can try. I don't know which other user I have, but if I try to invite myself, okay, so there's an error message which I am not getting, and I can now go here, check from here, console, and it says that console. Okay, so the server responded with the status of bad request. So let's see, bad request. Okay. Okay. Here, they are post request, and here they are post request. So that should be fine. So what is the problem? Okay, so can I figure out? Okay, let me see from here. Okay, I think it's the Zord error, right? Okay, so you can see from here. This thing, I don't know why, but I think it's from this thing here, right? Okay, so maybe I can just cut it, go inside here, and I don't know if we're accepting any token somewhere. Okay, so I'm just gonna say cons token schema. Okay, so like this. So I'll just go here, add this one here, and use that here. Okay, so here, yeah, then I'll go here and import it. Where did I cut it from? Here, and I think I can put it here and import it. Okay, I think that's fine. I think it should work now. Okay, I can send it and let's see. Okay, so we get 400 error, which says that data. Okay, then message. Okay, to see Zod error. Okay, let's check and see from the terminal again. Okay, so sorry. Okay, where here, right? And this is also here token. Oh, I think I'm even looking at the wrong thing. Invite here. Okay, and here there should be email and workspace. Okay, so manager contribute. Okay, I think I've seen the issue. The issue is admin, member, or viewer. Okay, so here should be admin, member, or viewer. Yes, yes, yes. I think this is the problem. Okay, so if I say a member, okay, so it says user already a member. Okay, so I think it will work. It works. So you can create a different account and check it, right? Okay, and we can also just copy the link here and share it. Right. Okay. So now let's look at how we can join the workspace. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Okay. So now let me try to invite somebody. So I have created a new account. Okay. So I'm going to try to invite the person. Right. Okay. So here, so I'm going to try to invite the person and let's see. Okay. So I'm going to invite the person as a member and let's see if it will go through. Okay. So invite sent. So I will check that account. Okay. So this is the account and it has no workspaces. So I'll check here. And now I have the invite received, right? So I can just click on the link. Okay, and let's see. So yeah, no page found. So we have the param here, and now we have the token also. So let's work on that page. Okay, so I'll go back. So let's work on that web page. So I'll go back to the code here. Okay, so I'll close some of these things. And if you remember, we've done the controllers already, right? So we just need to go to the front end, right? So I'll close most of the things. So I'll come to where I have the workspaces, right? And I'm going to put in workspace invite, okay, .tss. Okay, so I'm going to say RAFC. Okay, so I have it this way. And now I'll go inside the routes here. Okay, and how I'm going to do this is that I don't want this to be part of the dashboard group, right? So I'm going to give it separate. I'm going to use it separate, right? Okay, so how it's going to be is I'll go outside of the of this route, right? And I'm going to say route, right? Okay, I think there's a suggestion. So route workspace invite, okay, and yes, we'll have the ID, which is workspace ID. Okay, and the token will be a parameter. Okay, so yes, I think it should have the page. Let's see. Okay, so now we have the page. Okay, great. So I'll go back here. I can close this. And now here, how do I get the workspace ID? Okay, so workspace ID through search params. Okay, and now we also need to get the token. So I'm going to say search params, right? Okay, import from React router, and I'm going to say const token. Okay, and if I remember, we set it as invite. Okay, let me just check from the URL. It's okay, we set it as KT. Okay, great. So I will just say KT instead of token, right? Okay, so or TK, yeah, TK. Okay, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, we have it that. And what again will I need? I'm gonna say const navigate by using the React router. Use navigate. Okay, great. So if there is no workspace ID, right? Okay, we can return no workspace found, right? However, if it does, then we need to create, let's create the hooks, right? But first, yeah, okay. So if it does says this, let's fetch the workspace information, right? Okay, so I'm gonna say workspace, and it's loading, right? Which will be equal to use get workspace get workspace details, great, query, and I'll pass in the workspace ID. I believe so. Yes. Okay, great. So we can also pass types as let's see, can you guess? No, this is just workspace. Yes, and it's loading as boolean of true. Okay, great. Okay, we can create the other workspaces, right? Okay, so let's go on. How can we create the other mutations, I mean to say? So I'm going to say spot cons use accept. Okay, so this is accept invitation by token. Okay, so here we'll not need the token like this. So here it's going to be a mutation, not token. Mutation. Okay, so can you format it? So use mutation, then we'll accept the token, right? Okay, so then we'll pass the token, and I think the endpoint is by token. Yes, accept invite token. So make sure it's the same here. Okay, great. That's fine. And I think the other one is also cons user set general invitation. Okay. And also let's check the endpoint, which is this. So that one will take the workspace ID. Okay, so yes, general here. And I'll put this. I think they are the same. Okay, so here we'll accept the workspace ID. And now I'll pass in here workspace ID. Okay, I'll pass in workspace ID here as workspace ID. That one. Okay, there's nobody, it's only the params. Okay. So there's no need to even add this here. We can remove it. Yes, like this. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it. Then we can now come back here, right, and grab these two. Okay. And okay, what of the other one? Can you guess? Okay, so we have, yes, invite by token, right? And we have invite, a general invite. Okay, so I have them here. Okay, so what I can do now is okay, so okay, let me bring here the if is loading, right? If it's loading, I'm going to return the loader that we have. Yeah, but I think let me put it inside a div. Since this is a page, it does not have the dashboard, right? So I'm going to say here class name, flex width of full height of screen, right? Items to center, justify to center. Okay. Oh, great, just like that. And now we can come here. Okay, so I'm going to put in this. So if we search and we don't get any workspace, right, I'm just going to bring this, which is a card that says that the workspace has either been deleted or it's not found, right? Or yeah, or invitation has expired. Okay, so here I'll import all of this. Okay, and now a button, and this button will help us to go back. Okay, so great. Okay, we can check. It's loading, and okay, so invalid invitation. Okay, so I don't know why invalid invitation, but let me try to check if I'm getting the workspace ID, the token, and the data. Okay, so let's go back and check. Okay, I am getting data undefined. Data. Okay, I've renamed it to workspace. Okay, so here you can see we have the workspace ID, we have the token, and there is no workspace. Okay, so what do? We check from here. So we're getting a 404 error, right? Okay, so where is that? Here, use workspace details page, workspace detail, here. Okay, so here, I think it's pretty much simple, right? So I'm gonna log the workspace ID here, and let's see if it'll work. Okay, so it's loading. Okay, I think I'm getting not found API workspaces and the workspace ID not found. Okay, so yeah, here it is, right? So we're getting it. So why then the, okay, I think I've seen the issue. So I think here, okay, so I think here I can remove this one instead, right? Since we have the workspace ID, yeah, let's do that, right? And populate this. I think, yeah, I think this time this one should work. So then I can say maybe find by ID, right? Okay, I think this should work. So yeah, because the user is not a member of the workspace, that's why we're getting that error. So let's check. Let's see. And now we get the workspace info. Yes, great. Okay, so now let's come back here, and I am going to go here. Okay, so after loading all of this, now I am going to put this one here, right? Okay, and let's go over it. So what we're saying is that now if the workspace exists, right, we're going to show the workspace info. So I'll import the workspace avatar and pass in the name and the color, right, and also show the name as a title. Okay, then we'll put that you have been invited to join the workspace name. Okay, then we'll put the content where we put the description if it exists. If it does, then we'll now call the handle accept invite, right? And I will disable when, okay, great. So I'll change them to accepting invite, you know. So when you're accepting any of the invite, we'll disable this. And also, yeah, we'll put in the appropriate message. And also there's going to be a declined button, right? So you can choose to accept or decline the offer. Okay, so here I'll bring them up here. I can remove this and say cons. Okay, and there's another one, counts handle. Okay, so no, okay, I have two functions. I think so. Okay, so the decline will just go back, and this one, accept invitation. Okay, so here I'm gonna say it was handle decline, yes, invite. Okay. Okay, so if you decide to decline, so handle decline invite. Okay, so if you decide to decline the invite, what we will do, okay, also remove this. Okay, so if you decide to decline the offer, we'll just put a toast. So toast.info that says that invite decline. Then we can now go back, navigate to workspaces. Okay, great. And now inside here, right, we're gonna do a little bit of checks here. So where to accept the invite, we check that if there is no workspace ID, so workspace ID. If there is no workspace ID, right? Okay, why is it? It's up. Okay, so if there is no workspace ID, we will just return. Okay, great. Now, if there is also token, right? If there is token, okay, you remember we have two instances. There can be an instance where we have a token and an instance where we don't have a token. When we have a token means it's we invited the person through the email, and when we don't have a token means it is the general invitation, right? Okay, using that shared URL. Okay. Okay, so in that case, if we have a token, what we'll do is I'm just going to say that okay, I think it's what the name is here, accept invitation by token, and the other one is general invitation. Okay, so accept invitation by token, then I'll pass in the token, right? Great, I'll pass in the token, and on success, we'll just say invitation accepted. Okay. And we navigate to that particular, I think we can go to that particular workspace here and this, right? We'll go to the workspace. Else on error, okay, we'll also save that. Okay, so I'm going to give here of type any, right? Okay, they will show the appropriate message. Then we can also console log the error, the whole error. Okay, so I think that should be pretty fine. So I think that should be that. And now we have the else part, right? That is now, it is through the general. So through the general, we'll just pass in the workspace ID. And on success, we'll do the same thing. And on error, we'll also do the same thing. Great. So now let's go back and see. Okay, so now we have the workspace info. And if you check from here, I don't have the anything, right? So I can decline, and since I decline, and you go back. Okay, so I'll go and click on the link again. So click and click, and let's see. Okay, so we have the workspace info, and if I click to accept invitation, let's see. Great, invitation accepted, and now we are inside that particular workspace. And if I go here, we should have that particular workspace. Okay, if I come to the original one where I accepted, yeah, okay, so now you can see I have new user here and here, right? Okay, that's the new user. And if I should go to the members page, I should see that I have, okay, let me select that particular workspace. Show it selected. Okay, now you can see we have the new user here who is a member. Okay, great. So that is pretty much it. And okay, let's also do with the profile page here. Okay, and okay, so I mean, I'm going to do this one, then the rest I'll leave it to you to handle. Okay, right. Anyway, if you also find a problem, you can find the source code in the description. Okay, great. Okay, so that one, it's going to be a little bit quick. Okay, so I'm going to clear all. Oh, okay, great. And dashboard, and you remember we have user, so I'm going to put inside profile.tss. Okay, and with that one, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a schema, right, for the profile and for the change of password. So I'll just bring them up here. Okay, so I have this. Ensure to import z from Zod. Okay, and we have the current password, the new password, and the confirmed password, right? And we're checking if they match here. Okay, so we say the minimum should be 8. Okay, and we also have the profile schema also here. You can change your the name. Okay, now let me create the types, right? So I also bring that one here, this, and yeah, okay, their schemas also here. Okay, so in here I will bring out some stuff. So I'm going to say cons profile, great, and in up here I'm going to bring these things. Okay, so I am going to use this profile query, right, which will help us to get the user profile. Okay, so I will just copy and get that one. Okay, so I'll go inside the hooks. Okay, I'm going to inside hooks, and I'll create use-user.ts, right? Okay, and I'll put in this one. Okay, so I am importing query, right? Query key, and I'll pass it here, import also this, and also import the fetch data, right? And now I'll pass in the query key because they are the same. That's why here. Okay. And I also go to the backend now. Inside the route, do I have the user? I'm not sure. So I'll create it here, user.js, right? And you know that drill. So import express from express, right? Then we'll just say cons router equal to express router. Then we can just say export default this, and now I can put in the route here. Okay, so I need to import this. Can you suggest? Okay, and now I need to get this. Okay, so that is going to be pretty much simple. Okay, so I'll get that one, and together with the change of password and stuff, right? And I'll just bring them. So I am going to go inside the controllers, and I'll say user.js. Okay, and I'll put this 3 functions. Okay, let's go over it. Okay, so first we have get the user profile, which uses the user model, right? Okay, so import user from model .js. Okay, great. We say that we're using the user ID, so we don't want to select the password. Okay, so we use the user ID, and that's fair. We're just making sure we don't add the password. We just send the user. And this one is also updating the profile, where we can get the name and the profile picture right from the body. And now we get the user. If it doesn't exist, we say it does not. If it does, then we change them and just update it here. And now here also change of password. Okay, and also change of password. We get the current password, the new password, as well as the confirm. And now we first want to fetch the user, right? And this time include the password. That's why we say plus password. And now we'll check if the new passwords, they do match. If they do match, then that's fine. Then we'll also decrypt the old one and see if the old one is correct, right? Okay, I think that's the way. So if it doesn't, then we'll say old password does not match. Okay, then if it does, then we hash the new one and just save it. That's pretty much simple. So I can export them here, all of them. Okay, and I'll come here. Okay, so I'll bring the rest also here, put them, ensure to import this. Okay, so don't forget the .js, right? Okay. Okay, so also import this. This is a middleware slash. I don't think this path is correct. Middleware great dash auth middleware.js. Okay, yeah, I think this is correct now. And I need to also import this. Okay, import this one as well. And now we need to get the schema. Okay, I think this is fine here. This is also fine, right? Okay. And let me go back to the index route here. And now I can put user and here also user. Should I say, is it user or users? Okay, I think it's users. That's fine. Okay, it's users here. Okay, great. So now I can do the rest, right? Okay, so I'm going to bring the 2 remaining hooks. So here, this will be for updating, right? So let me import this from the profile page. Okay, and also import the update command and also import this. Yes, and I think that's pretty much it. So now we can come back here. Okay, so here I can import this and get the user data, also import the types. Okay, and also import auth from our context, import use navigate from React router, and now the form, we have form from React hook form, and also import Zod resolver. Okay, great. So this will help us do the change of password, and it's for the profile update. Okay, great. Okay, so first let's check on how we can do the profile. Okay, and this will be the profile update. That is if I want to update the profile. Okay, first let me get the mutations, right? Okay, so I'm going to bring down those ones here. Okay, so here we have okay, I'll remove these 2. Okay, so import these 2 mutations, right, that we created, right? Okay, so yeah, they are here. And this is also the other one to update the profile. Okay, so we have these 2, and now we have the change password, right? So import toast from Sona, and yeah, we'll pass in the various information. And when we update your password, we will send you back to we will log you out, right? Yeah, we'll log you out, and yeah, then you log in again to see if your password is actually taking effect. And this is also for profile update, right? Okay, great. What again do I need to do? I think that's all. Okay, so if it's loading, if we're fetching the user data, I'll just put this one here, right? And import loader component. Import the loader component. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't take any message. Okay. And now I can do a whole lot of stuff here. Okay, so now I can just copy and put this one also here, and let's go over it. Okay, it's a little bit long, but I guess you'll be fine. It's not that scary. Okay, so here we importing the back button, right? Yes, we can go back. We have the information, user profile information, and manage your distance. We also have the separator. So separator. Okay, I don't know which of the separator I have, but maybe I can just import any. Okay, so here I'm also importing card from component, card header, right? Okay, the card title, which is going to be for the profile information, and the card description. Okay, great. And now we go to the card content. Okay, great. And in the card content, we have the form. Okay, so form from UI form. Okay, so UI form, and we have the normal form, and now we handle the profile form, right? Okay, then we pass in the submit handler, and now here will be for the avatar. So import avatar from UI, also avatar image if the user has the avatar. Then if the user has, yes, we'll pass in this. If not, that's it. Then the fallback URL. Okay. Okay, so here import the fallback also, then we'll pass in the name. Okay, so here, okay, I'll also import this, right? Okay, and let me disable this for now. Okay, great. And what again do I have to? Avatar image. Okay, I can remove all of this for now. Okay, so here also import the field, right? And form field, form label, label control, and input, and also the message. Yes, great. So here it's also going to be a label, and what the label say? Label. Okay, there's also an input that says the name, and here it's going to be disabled or read only, right? Meaning you can change your email, right? Okay, your email address cannot be changed. And there's a button, and what is the name I gave here? Yeah, it's updating, and the other one is what? Is changing password. Okay. So it's updating. Yeah, I think that's all. Okay, and I also import the loader 2 here from, it's an icon from Lucy. Okay, that's all. So that will be for the profile. And now we come to the security part for the password, right? So also you're going to use the form because that is what we said it should be for. And the alert, which is an icon, right? No, I think this alert, it's an alert from components. So maybe what I can do is I can quickly install that, right? What is even the command? Okay, so I'm going to say Shadcn, and I'll search for alert. Okay, so yeah, it can be like this. So the command npm select from here, and I can just say cd front end and put that. Okay, so it's installed. So I'll import alert from UI component. Okay, then also the alert circle, which is an icon, and the alert description from the UI. Okay, and here is a form for the current password, and this for the new password and the confirm password, as well as a button. Okay, so I can go back and check. Where was I? Here, maybe here. Okay, so yeah, my bad. We need to add the page. So go here where we have routes, right? Okay, so this time I'm going to go also outside, and I'll have a new one for, yes. Okay, here. Maybe, okay, layout. User layout, do I even have that? Then this will be for, should I say user dash profile? Maybe that's okay. And we don't have the user layout, so maybe I'll go inside the user, right? And create that user layout.tss, and I'll see cons user layout. Okay, here, and in here, what am I going to return? I'm going to return an outlet. I'll return an outlet from React router. And here, should it be in the center? I don't think it's needed. So let's see if it will work. Okay, so what is the URL? The URL is saying user slash. Okay, it's user slash. So I can change it from here. It's not user dash, it's user slash, great, profile. So here, okay, so user slash, okay, so is this path correct? Okay, so route user, then user dash layout. Okay, I think that's okay. So maybe what I can do is to restart it, right? Okay, let me restart it and let's see if we'll get any errors again. Okay, so here it's loading. Here, let's check from here. Also loading. Okay, so yes, we have the page, but I think it's not the best. Okay, so maybe what I can do, it's I'll go back here, close here, go inside the layout, right? And I'm going to say, okay, let me see. I'm going to say container, right? Max width of 3XL and MX dash auto, right? PY of 8, and on MD, PY of 16. Yes, and we can even remove this flex. Let's see. Something is undefined. Okay, no worries. No, not this page. Okay, this page. Yeah. Okay, I think the icon is not loading, right? So let's check. Where? Here. Okay, when it is loading, loader, maybe you can just say class name. This, right? Okay, let's see. Yeah, now it loads. And now we have it this way. Great. So we don't have the avatar, right? Okay. So we don't have any avatar now, but name, the name is not showing, right? I guess it should show. And the email, right? The values are not coming. Okay. Okay. So let's see why. The why can be, okay, let's check if our backend is also running. Okay, you see, so we have a crash here. It is here, this, right? Here it is import as default. I mean, it's default, and I think inside here we did not import it as default. Okay, so it should be like this. Remove the naming, remove the parenthesis, not the curly braces, remove the curly braces. Great, and let's see. Okay, so we're still getting validate request is not defined. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, import z and also import validate request from it's from Zod Express middleware. Okay, great. Okay, so something else that's not exist. So this is not a function. I think it should be import as a name import, not default. Let's see. Okay, so server is running now, and yes, great. So let's go back and check loading, and great. Now we have the name. We have this. So let's say I want to update the name. So updated name, and I'll press on this. Let's see. Great, it's updated. Let me also check if I can update my password. So my old password is 1234 up to 8, and the new one I am going to change it. Okay. Okay, that's not much. Okay, it has. Let's save and see. Failed, right? Okay, why failed? We can check from here. Reference bcrypt type is not imported. Okay, so that's fine. We can go up here and say import bcrypt from bcrypt. Okay. Okay, let me put this through again, and also same thing. Fail to update password. I don't think the passwords were matching. Okay, let me try again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, still failed. So I can check maybe my console, inspect, then go to the console here so that we see the actual error that was returned. Okay, so response and data. Okay, so it says invalid old password. Actually, I don't remember my password, right? Okay, I don't remember my old password. Okay, let's see. Okay, let me see if I do remember. Okay, I've placed in anything. Okay, I don't remember my password. Okay, maybe I can go to this one. Okay, maybe I can go to this one, and this one. I think this one I remember my password. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. Okay, let's see. Okay, great. So it's changed. Now I'm logged out and I have to log in again. Okay, and I'm going to try the old password and see. Right, great, it didn't work. So new one, and let's see. Great, I think, yes, we are logged in successfully. Great, and if I come here, I have one workspace. Okay, great. So that's pretty much it. Now you get to figure out, now try to do the achieve and the settings. Okay, if you find any error, I mean, you can still get the source code. Check the link in the description. So how can we deploy these applications? Okay, so first, one thing that I am going to do is, okay, I'll go inside the front end here. Okay, and I'm going to push my code to GitHub again. So github.git.add git commit final code. Okay, and let me say git push, and let's see. Okay, it's gone. Okay, but what I'm going, oh, so okay, let me go and check from my GitHub and see. Okay, so here, if I check, okay, so I think, okay. So let me try again. Okay. Okay, so let me try again to push it. Let's see. Okay, git add git commit updated, then git push. Okay, so let's see if I refresh this page. Okay, I think it has been updated. So we're going to use render to deploy the backend and resolve for the front end. Okay, and I think in both of the cases we'll need the front end URL, right? So if I go to, okay, let me close all of this for now, right? Okay, here there's an env where we put in the backend URL. Okay, so we can start from there. So I'll go to render. Okay, ensure you have an account, or create one. If you don't, okay, go back to dashboard and now create a new service. So web services. Okay, great. And select the project. Mine is project manager, right? Okay, so what I'm going to do is here. Okay, it's node main, main, and here I think backend. Okay, great. So backend, and the build command, it's not yarn, I think it's npm install, right? So I am going to say npm install, and I'm going to add this flag so that in case there are dependency mismatch, you can install them. Okay, and here I'm going to say npm start. Okay, great. And I'll select free, and now I need to add my environment variable. So copy all your environment variables and add them. I will add mine off camera. Okay, so I have added my environment variable. The port is not even needed. So just copy and paste, or the port is not needed. The database URL, the secret, the front-end URL, which will come and update, and you need the SendGrid API key, right? And all this. Okay, then I'll just press on deploy services. Okay, so whilst it is deploying, maybe we can also go to the cell. Okay, You can also use Netlify if you want. It's okay. Great. So ensure that you are logged in, right? And go to your dashboard and add new site. So click on add new. Make sure your account is connected to your GitHub, right? Okay. So I'm going to say new project and search for the project, which is this. The first one, mine is the first one. So yeah, ensure you have it. And yeah. Okay, so here, what do I even select? Okay, so I need to select the framework. Okay, I think we're using React Router, so I can pick React Router. And yeah, here I need to edit the root directory, which is front end. Great. Front end, and this is build and output command. So build and output command, what I'm going to say is the build command, I think that is it. We will not need any other thing. And here also the install command. I don't know whether here, because of okay, I think it will work. Okay, so let me check if my backend is completed. Here it's saying that database connected. Okay, that means it's successful. So I can copy the URL here, right, and bring it here to the cell. Where is the cell? The cell is here. Okay, and I'll put in the environment variable. What was the name? Okay, so the front end environment variable is this, right? So I'll just copy this and also put it here, right? And I'll copy the URL here again. Great, bring it here. Okay, so bring it here and I'll change from here, right? I'll change the base and I'll say slash. Great. So yeah, change the base URL, then / API v1, and also let's say deploy. Okay, let's see. Okay, so the backend, okay, so I think, oh, okay, it's still building. You know, we can go back to the backend, right? And if I put the API here, okay, you can see hello from welcome to, yes, meaning it's working. Okay, great. So here we have an error. Okay, I think I should have built the project locally first, right? Yeah. I think I'll have to add the legacy.ps flag, right? So that's what I'm going to do. But before then, let's do this locally first. So I'm going to go inside the Okay, I think it went through smoothly, right? Yes, so build, there's no error. So maybe I can go back here and edit the installation command, which is here, right? Okay, so where is it? Build and install command. Okay, what is happening? Okay, I think I need to go to the project settings instead. Okay, go to project settings and let's see. And okay, then I'll go to settings here and okay, I think, okay, build an environment. So here, install command. I'll click on this. and say npm install, then I'll put this, right? And I'll save. Okay, and I can go back to deployment here and I'll say redeploy, right? Okay. Okay, so it's deploying. You can see it's running here, and you can also see the logs here. Okay, I think now we don't have the URL. I don't think so. Is it still running or get an error? Okay, so it has been deployed, right? Okay, so I think I can go to the URL, which is this one, right? Okay, so let me see. I think that's the one. Okay, this one. So I can copy this and bring it to the backend, right? I also go to the environment here and change the front end URL, which is this one, right? This one. I will say edit, and now I'll edit this, putting that one there. Yeah, we don't need this. We don't need the // and now I will save and deploy. Okay, so let me try to redeploy. So deploy latest commit, or yeah. Okay, so just click hash and deploy again, and let's see. Okay, let's see. So I'll close some of these things. Okay. Okay, so maybe I could have used Kaiser to design this page a little well, but let's not worry. Let's see if this one will go through pretty much well. And because now if you try to log in, we'll be blocked by calls policy because the front end UI does not exist here. So we add it and we redeploy it. Okay, so build successful, deploying, and okay, so it has been redeployed. So maybe, just maybe, let's try login. And is this one that I don't remember my password? Was it not embarrassing? Okay, so invalid credentials, which is fine. I'm not sure I do remember. Oh, okay. I just entered anything and it went through. Okay, so now our app has been deployed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And you can improve upon it, work on the settings page and improve upon it. Okay, you can also support CodeWave. See you in another project. Bye.